So one thing I also want to highlight, I don't know if you're familiar with American Girl, but American Girl is this book series, okay, that a lot of middle class parents buy for their kids, maybe upper middle class or something. All I know is I definitely had all the American Girl books growing up. And they're these stories, there's little like stories about like days in the life of girls who are living in America. And every girl has a different story. So there's like one girl who's like a Jewish American, the other one's like an Irish American, the other one is like German American, and there's all these stories about like their culture from mostly they're all from like Europe. So it's like there's stories of how their families came over to America and like how the culture and their religious like customs and stuff have been like passed on and passed up, and like all the meaningful things in their lives. But for the black girls, we had Addy. There was only one black girl, and she was a slave, and the whole book was about her being a slave. It's kind of like there's this movie, The Little Princess. A lot of people actually grew up watching this movie. I thought when I was little, it was like my favorite movie. But it's actually a really sad movie that does have a black girl who's very similar to Addie. Like she's like a slave in this orphanage. Well, it's not an orphanage. It's like a private day school, and she can't. Though obviously there's this little princess who affords to go to the day school because her dad is like an army veteran. He's like in the war, but then he dies and he didn't leave her any money or something. So then they force her to like work with the little slave girl in the private school. The whole thing is really sad, and I don't know, it's just kind of sad. But at the same time, I think it's interesting to think about, to see so many black girls starting YouTube channels because they can display themselves in America not being Addy, which I think is really important.